right. Hi, my name is Linda Walker, and I work at Loveland Center, the Venice location of the Adult Day Training Program. And I have the pleasure of being the gardening instructor, so we're going to talk about gardening today. So, the first thing you need to know about gardening is that plants need three things to grow. They need light, which can come from the sun, or if they're inside, they come from the lights in the house. They need water, which you can provide, or if it's rainy where you are, then the earth provides it for you. And then they need food. They get food from the soil, but we also add food to help them out and help them grow stronger. So those are the three main things. So in a few minutes, we're going to go out to our garden. And the first thing that my gardening group usually does is we check all of our vegetables and we see if there's anything to pick. Because that's the best part of gardening is picking. But you don't get to do that every time. There's also a lot of other work to do. You have to weed and prepare the soil and wait and hope that raccoons and bugs don't eat your produce. So when we go out to the garden, we'll check the bean plants, the tomato plants, and the carrots. And I want to show you why we're inside where it's easier to see. All of our plants start with seeds. And these are, you buy these at the store, these are tomato seeds. And they're very, very tiny. I don't know if you can see them. But when next time you eat a tomato, notice on the inside there are seeds. And that's what these are. These are just dried seeds, but you can often see the seeds in the food that you're eating. And that is how the plants make more plants. These are bean seeds, and you can also see those, or you just basically eat bean seeds when you eat beans. So these are the seeds for the beans. Now the carrots are very, very small. And you won't notice these when you're eating carrots because the carrots have to go to seed. So, but they're very, very tiny. But they'll end up, you'll see when we pick, into the great big carrots, just like you buy at the grocery store. So that is how all the plants start. And before we go out, I want to send a shout out to my gardening group, my Monday morning group, and I hope you guys are all doing great. And thanks for your hard work, and Jordan and Nick, who always help me water during the week. So hope everybody's doing well. And let's go out to the garden. Check this plant for beans, and look, here's one ready to pick. So I'm going to grab onto the plant to make sure I don't pull the plant out, and I'm going to pull the bean off, put it in my box. And we'll check and see if there's any more. There's not. So we got a couple bean plants back here. This one is not ready yet. It's so small, we'll leave it for next time. This is rosemary. You would just cut it. We're not going to do that. This for beans. Here's a bean that's ready. So I'm going to hold on to the plant and pull the bean. Alright, now here's the tomato plant. So you can see they're all different colors of red and green. So the ones that are red or close to red I'm going to pick, because if I leave them here too long, the raccoons will get them. So, but these will leave because they're not ready yet. Right here. They pick very easily. They just come right off. Now these are carrots, and I think this one might be ready, so I'm going to pull it out. And look, it is ready. It's an actual carrot, like you'd buy at Publix or any grocery store. So of course now I'm all dirty, but anyway. Let me see if there's any more that we want to pull. Let's pull one more. You can kind of see the carrot if you push the dirt away a little bit. So that's why I'm thinking this one might be ready. So I'm going to pull straight up. And oh, it's a double. Look, we always think this looks like a lady dancing. But anyway, it didn't grow quite right, but you could still eat that. Of course, you'd have to wash it all first. Okay. So we're going to plant some tomato plants in this bed, but before we start, we have to get ourselves ready and the bed ready. So I'm going to put on my gardening gloves because I'm going to get dirty. I want to get hands too dirty. So put on your gardening gloves, and I'm going to weed. All these little things in here are weeds. So I'm going to pull those out because we don't want the weeds in there. This is a chive plant, and we're going to leave that there because it's growing nicely. All right. This is a pepper plant, and I think we'll leave it too because it seems okay. All right. So after I weed, and I get a shovel, a little trowel, a little shovel, and I'm going to just loosen the dirt because the new plants are like baby plants and their roots aren't very strong. So the looser the dirt is, the easier it is for them to grow and grow down so that they can get water. Plants need 3 things always: sun, water, and food. So they get the food from the soil, and we also add food sometimes. So this is plant food, and it looks different than people food, so we don't eat it, but it actually looks like hamster pellets or something, if you've ever fed a hamster. And you don't need very much. I'm just going to sprinkle this in here, and then we're going to stir it in a minute. I also happen to have some, put my gloves back on for this one. I have some black cow manure left over from a landscape project, which is really good for the dirt. So it's not gross, it doesn't smell, but you do want to use your shovel. And I'm just going to scoop it out and put some of that in there too. This will also help the soil and help the plants grow. Because that's what we want, the plants to grow. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of stir. Just like if I was stirring, you know, making cookies or something and stirring up the dough. I'm just going to mix it in the soil so it's nice and loose and all mixed in. So this is tomato plant. The tomato seeds are very small, and we planted in the little pot and it grew. So we have to dig a hole pretty deep because I want to just have about this much showing. I'm going to put all the rest of it underneath, and then it's going to grow roots out of all this bottom, and it won't be so spindly and tall and leggy. It'll get bushier, which is what we want. If it's bushy and strong, it'll be better able to support tomatoes. You can see all the roots. All these white things are the roots, which suck up the water and make the plant grow. And you have to be very careful here. You don't want this all to fall apart. So we're just going to put it in the hole. I don't think my hole's deep enough. I'm going to go a little deeper. Okay. So put it in there. And I'm going to carefully push the dirt back because I don't want to hurt the stem of the tomato plant. You don't want it to break because then it won't grow. And then you pat the dirt around it to hold it up. That's pretty easy, right? All right, and then this is a tomato cage. So tomatoes can get really tall, so this helps support them. And you should put it in when the plant is small, because otherwise you won't be able to get it on, because the plant will be all over the place. So, there, it's in. Alright, so we've got our plant in, we have our tomato cage on to support the tomato plant when it's going to get nice and big. Now we're going to water. And because it's a brand new plant and the roots aren't holding strong yet to the dirt, we're going to set our nozzle on mist. So if your nozzle wouldn't have a mist, you just need to water real soft and gentle. So there you can kind of see it just is misty, but you got to hold it on there for a few minutes to get enough water onto the plant. And then after a few days, once it gets going a little bit, you can switch your nozzle to maybe shower or something, and it looks more like that. But you never want to stand real close to any plant because it'll wreck the dirt. You don't want the dirt to be moving where you're watering. So you just water everything till there's a nice puddle around it. And that's all you have to do. And let nature do the rest. Have a good day, everybody. See you soon.